What's up, guys? Mike Thomas, and today I've got a very interesting deck profile for you. I'm joined by two of the four players that we stacked up with playing this deck this past weekend at the Elestrals premieres. Guys, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
we didn't rehearse this at all. Very rehearsed deck profile, by the way. Anyway, we did it again, boys. We did it again. Inshallah, Cabal. We have taken down another tournament with 100% success rate.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit.
It's been like a format or so since we've done this.
Yeah, something like that. Well, we can never come to a conclusion on a deck that we all should play.
Right. This time it seemed pretty obvious. I mean, like there was only one deck to play. Yeah, we kind of got put in our place last week by the penthouse, and we said we got to break out Lucille. We hit him with the Jeffrey break out Lucille, and we brought this deck. Josh, do you want to talk about it? I mean, like this is like our baby. Like so.
Okay, that is true.
This is our deck.
As much as we can also say it's like our deck, there's like a lot of inspiration that came from this list. Swole, you were there for the other one. So
yeah, shoutouts to the OG Cabal, the side project with Justin T. But I think this one has definitely been refined. I know that you and Trish were in the kitchen with this one to bring it home with Josh. Also, congratulations on the first place, by the way. I don't think we've kind of skirted past that one, but holy God. So yeah, it's definitely like a quote unquote like play on the rest, but it's kind of different in spirit for what we're playing, like both literally and like generally.
The whole idea behind this deck, in comparison to the like Den Turbo list that was previously popularized, and I'm sure you see everywhere on the Clash ladder, is that we took out all the turbo from Den Turbo and replaced it with only good cards. No bad cards, only good cards.
No way.
Which I think has really put this deck over the top in terms of power, consistency, and like the things that you have to answer over the course of a game.
I think the Bear Turbo list, what it did really well was it showed that all you need to win a game is you just need to resolve the Den, and you can win a game. So if you just have a good deck that also just has a way to just win on the spot with the Bears, like you have a deck that just doesn't lose. Yeah,
the only losses that we had all day were to each other.
Except for Swole. Swole, didn't you get knocked out by Not a Bear in Top Cut?
In Top Cut, yeah. Well, that was
in Swiss.
In Swiss, yeah. It was only to ourselves. In Top Cut, I ended up losing to. So Trevor and I, so Sure and I both got top 8. Trish top 4, and then Josh ended up taking the whole thing. I lost to the second place, Adam.
Evie, right?
Yeah.
Adam, Evie.
Yep, that one. And so yeah, we ended up getting. I got washed by Fire Artifact. Eruption was crazy. The fire deck getting burned by Eruption, the irony's not lost on me, but that's my bad.
So yeah, and I think I only lost to Josh. I lost to you in top 4, and I lost to Chariot in Swiss, I think. Like every other match was a 2-0. Like I 2-0'd literally everybody I played, except for Josh, and my top 8 opponent, I think. But all my Switch rounds were 2-0s. This was the most disgusting deck I think I've ever played in Elestrals.
Even worse than Blizz.
I don't know if I'd say that, but I also haven't played a lot of Blizz. Like, I just decided I'm not queuing that deck. Like that deck.
That's fair. No, I think that this might be stronger than Blizz.
Genuinely, it might, and for specific reasons that we'll get into during the deck profile. But speaking of the deck profile, shall we get into the deck profile?
Yeah.
So
starting off with Trish's favorite card.
Absolute best card in the game. Shout out to Tommy. I'm never cutting this card. You will take this card from my cold, lifeless hands. I will always have 3 of this in my deck, even if it's terrible. It's just in my deck. I love that card. And then we played 3 of the Poon Master, Narpy Marp himself. Is there anything to say about Narpoon? I mean, he searches for.
Art's broken. He's a 4.
Yeah.
This is the best art.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like best art of Narpoon.
I wish it was shinier.
I know. Like we just need this art again, but as a hollow. Dan A Drive, please hear my cry. And then we played the star of the deck, 3 Teddy Persona 4s. So Josh, I mean, like you're the bear guy. You got to talk about it. Like I can't do all this. You have to talk about the bear.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So I think something that we really realized over the course of like Den Turbo being a thing, it's that it's really easy to just see the bear cards together. without having to turbo through your entire deck to get to them. Because your rabbits can add them, your Narpoons are also searching your Ursicles along with the other frost cards in the deck. All you have to do is just draw a High Bear or a Den, which isn't hard to do. If you open one in your opening hand, all you have to do is search an Ursicle over the course of the game, and boom, I just have something that can blow up my opponent's entire board in just one swoop. Cards broken, especially just getting Hibernation too, just for additional Ambrosias and card draw. That happened a lot, where like I wouldn't even summon the big Mama Bear, and I just keep drawing cards with High Bear.
The other thing with the Ursicle too is just how crazy it is that you can just run out this one little guy, and it's like they have to Gorgon's Gaze it, and if they don't, like, you're fine. Like the thing really with the turbo versus this version is the fact that we can just play like a game, because like we don't need a turbo, because we're gonna just play good cards and play Elestrals with you until it's suddenly like, oh hey, I saw the combo, okay, I can do this now.
And I think that's like the big difference between the previous like Nog and the Ignector version, is that like they're like, why play cards that aren't applying pressure and also decreasing spirits and also like baiting out interactions versus just playing just straight up good stuff. So this is one of the craziest cards too, because it demands responses, but also because it in theory you don't really need to play the Nogs, you don't really need to play Ignectors. You can just play this and the other bear stuff, and that's good. That's perfect.
And I think the other thing too that really sells this card, this is the last Ursicle like nail, is that it's also a starter. Like, because it can search itself. So like if your hand is just counter runes and an Ursicle, you're still fine keeping that, because you can just go Ursicle, search Ursicle, and then try and draw into a dude the next turn to just play, and you're just holding onto your Ursicle. It feels so much better than just expending to draw. So obviously with the Ursicle, we have the champion of the deck, Majursa. The bomb. So the bomb in Bear Bomb is the Majursa. This card's stupid.
It's crazy. So the Mom Bomb is like, I know the popular opinion when this card was revealed was that it was not very good. This is the crazy part, is even alone on this, like just by itself, this represents one pop if you're quote unquote hard ascending, if you're really down bad, right? It happened where I was like, I sent over a Lavalith to do stuff. But like this is 2 to 3 pops all tournament. And they have to have Gorgon's Gaze, they have to have Pandora's Box, they have to have something. Even like a Poison Tipped Arrow, that's like 1 billion damage they're taking, and it's crazy.
Did y'all ever resolve it for 4?
Oh yeah, no,
no.
4 is crazy.
What do you mean I didn't even resolve it for 3. This card popped 2 cards every time I played it.
Oh, I resolved it for 3 and for 4 once.
That's a Josh state and a half. That's one of those board states like, yeah, my 7 spirit Ursicle.
Ursicle into Ursicle into Ursicle into Mama Bear.
Okay, I never did anything crazy like that. But so you'll see as we get through the deck, we're not playing Earthquake, but like you kind of don't need to play Earthquake when your Earthquake is just a searchable card that, you know, pops more cards. So like I'm kind of fine letting you get on the board, and that was one of the big things in the mirror too, is like, you know, you always have your Earthquake. So kind of whoever committed to the board first was in the worst spot, because the opponent just always is able to respond with their own Mama Bear. So like this deck plays no Earthquake, but really it plays, what is this, like 6 copies of Earthquake, like effectively, because you're just always holding on to it. Speaking of removal, we play our removal kings, our Stampseas, and our Marble Eddies. These cards are just broken. I mean, like, not even like broken. They're just like the best removal tools in the game, because they're all water, and so they can't get tsunami'd. If you shield it, I'm just going to do it again next turn. This one ignores PTA, so it's like you're eating Gorgonses to kill dudes on the board. Like, it's never worth it to do that. So these cards just get so much value and just remove threats all the time.
And this is the main change from the previous deck, is the addition of more whales and more eddies. Because I think previously there was only 1 Champsy in the main and no eddies. So replacing all the Nogs and Ignectors with good cards like these is the main change.
Yeah, it's more spirit efficient, and it's like, again, the crazy part too, as far as like meta contention goes, that a lot of people were on OG Whale, and like a big resurgence inside of like Argo and Artifacts from the ban list, and these 2 cards play into that way better than anything else. Pair that with, of course, Rabbit as a consistency tool. Whale makes that 5/2, and so you're applying pressure while also digging for your combo. And sometimes you just win the game off of the 5s alone. That's I found out is that sometimes you didn't even really need the bear bomb. You could just win with these cards.
There were so many games I won without resolving the Den combo.
Oh, see, I think I den comboed every opponent that I played, but
there were actually a lot of games I did not do it.
It's also crazy too because the whale is nice with the Ursicle, because if you go Ursicle turn 1, add another Ursicle, and they just respond with a rabbit, your Ursicle is now a 3 to the opponent's 2, so even the Ursicle gets value with the whale. So
yeah,
it's just really nice. And then they make a return. I play a lot of Clash, and this card never seems to work for me, but it seemed to work for us this weekend.
Crazy.
This was really the standout card in the deck. And I think we can talk about it more when we get later into the deck profile, but this card really is like all this bear stuff is cool and all, but these were the cards that won the tournament for us, really.
Yeah, there are definitely stuff that, like, again, you have to have a response for a 7/4, or potentially the Boreas out if someone's left up like a straight Boreas. It's like an 8/5, or like typically double enchanting, which is the tech we'll talk about later. This card's crazy. It's always been crazy. It's hard to deal with. It eats Argos alive. It eats every single counter rune, and it's just another win condition if, for example, your bear bomb doesn't go off, or you just get to this early enough and you don't even need the bear bomb. And that's kind of the big two things with this. One thing I will say is that it's kind of nice too to even draw the Kryovern, because there are instances where you can just hard ascend over the Ursicle that you have Stray after you've resolved the bear bomb, and now you have like two big bodies that are just crazy.
It's crazy you mentioned that, because this mirror match was actually one of the most fun and interesting matches that I've played in Elestrals ever. And versus Josh, it's crazy because the way that Josh beat me in quarterfinals or semifinals, was it semifinals?
Semis?
Yeah. Semifinals was by hard ascending for the Kryovern twice. Like that is the play that lost me that game. Both times.
I drew both bricks. It was awesome.
And that's how you beat me. I was like, the only way that Josh wins right now is if he's bricked. And Josh never bricks. He never bricks. And then he bricked against me and it won him the game.
Massive W.
And then for the last dude, we just had Lavalith. How was this guy for you guys?
Insane.
Crazy all day.
Almost never saw it though. I think I only drew it like twice.
I think I cast this card once the whole tournament.
I cast it a couple times, and every time it was impactful. Even like, so in the top 8 match that I lost against Fire Artifact, it came up especially then. It was just a good solid body. I had a weird awkward position facing Y Rebellion where I couldn't out like a 7, the 7 Spinosect in defense, and I was like, so I sat on the Lavalith for a while. But the nice part about it was, like, stat wise, it was just big enough to where if it got shielded back, I could just put it on again. Hard ascending over something was a destruction, and a 6 is still good. As a 1-of, great. If it was anything more than a 1-of, like if it was at 3 copies, I don't know if you'd really even want to play it at more copies. I don't know. Maybe they replace the Cryoverns.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of the reason why I asked this, is because I sided this card out every game. This was never in my deck post game 1, I think. Except for maybe
that was the other
Thunder.
issue. Yeah, because like I sided this card out for a very fun friend that we'll talk about.
A lot.
Yeah, and we'll talk about him.
So
soon.
this card also requires a note on the Spirit Math. I'll just like bring it up now. Is we played 5 fire, which is less than we had played in previous iterations of this list. Because we were playing 6 before, which means that technically Lavalith is a lose condition for us, where it's like if we play our Lavalith and then our opponent puts us in a position where Lavalith is still on the board, but we have to cast Majursa, this is how we can lose, because we don't have the spirits to both cast Majursa. Like, we can't do Den combo while this is on the field. We're only on 5. So like 2 of them are here and 3 of them are in our spirit deck. So how do we enchant the Den to get the Majursa out?
Yeah, I think the argument was that like that situation will almost never happen.
Yeah,
where the additional water that we play for Spirit Math would come up so much more, since we're on a much higher water package and you want to water enchant your Cryoverns, etc.
Yep.
You also want to water enchant the next card, which is Ursa to play around Monsoon. I think I did this unintentionally once. I water enchanted and my opponent did have a Monsoon set. I was like, oh my god, I played around it.
You're a god.
I'm a god. I think it was like game 1, 2 or something. I'm like, I wasn't even trying to play around it. I just ran out of like the right color. I was like, okay, whatever.
If I saw my opponent was on wind or like heavy wind investment, I did I did do the water enchant, but if not, I didn't really worry about it too much. Oftentimes, I didn't find my opponent would actually even have it or have enough spirit to the spirit math to actually do Monsoon. That makes sense.
I think most people are just playing P-Box for this stuff.
Yeah, I think it is worth saying though, like the reason you do water is so that like when you do the high bear, you don't have to use as many frost or fire investment to re-enchant to the den.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was doing like with water, thunder a lot just so that I didn't have to waste more frost out of my spear deck. And then now we're just kind of into the part of every Elestrals deck. So 3 Ambro, 3 Shield, 3 Gorgons, 3 Poison Tip Arrow, and 2 Tsunami. This has been the standard forever, but it's really interesting because this deck doesn't play Zeus, it doesn't play Cryoblast, it doesn't play Hurricane, it doesn't play Earthquake, doesn't play Laurels. So a lot of the Invoke rune staples that we're so used to playing all kind of got cut in favor of this bear package because, like we were saying before, this is just your Invoke package. Like, this is your removal package, and it's just searchable now instead of being something that you have to draw into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to make Zeus fit into this deck at some point in time, like my late night, like, let's see what I can do. But honestly, I think the only 2 slots that were available were Lavalith and like a PTA, which didn't feel great either way. You wanted the counter runes. And then the third thing is Spirit Math. If the Spirit Math was a little bit easier, I think you could potentially have some more tech in the main deck. But instead, I think that's why we're on the side deck, we're teching out the side deck much heavier because it's like you somewhat have some wiggle room, but never in game 1.
The Spirit Math is so tight.
It really is. I think the way to free up this deck is to take out the Cryoling package because we'll go over the Spirit deck right now, and you need all of these spirits. Like, they're all so necessary. So we have the 8 Frost, which I think is the minimum that you can play with doing Kryovern stuff, right? Because we need 5 for Kryovern, right? 1 for Cryoling, 1 for Ursicle, 1 for High Bear, technically. If you, or like a double Frost Enchanted Kryovern.
I think you could tactically get away with 7.
7's tight. 7's super tight, but
7's really rough.
Yeah, there was a lot of times I wish I had more Frost. So 7 feels really tight. And then we already talked about it, but we played the 5 water and 5 fire. Previously, this was 6-4, but with the extra water stuff, we bumped it to 5-5, and I liked it. It felt really nice.
Yeah.
That was like a late night message, I think, to you. It was like, hey, we should probably play 5 water, right?
Yep.
And I don't think that made it to Swollen Trevor.
Yeah, I think one of my
I don't
extra.
Think it did. I don't think it did.
I was on an extra. I think it might have been on extra Frost or extra Thunder. I think we're on. I think
you were on an extra Fire.
For me, as far as like changes go, as far as the 1 extra Fire or otherwise, it didn't for my run come up, and for my side deck choices, because I did make a few of those changes. The extra Fire was nice, but for the most part, I do think that you definitely can get away with just the 5 Fire versus the 6 and water, etc. It doesn't really make a huge difference.
The 5
6 Fire for you matters a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to tell us what was different in your list, because you definitely like changed, I think, the most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But 5 ended up being perfect for one of the cards in our side, which I'll talk about in a second. But for now, it starts with our additional Zaptor and 2 Boombats. These were mostly like for the mirror and for like Blitztricks and stuff. I put them in sometimes. Josh, did you put these in ever?
Only against you.
Lamau.
Lamau. Like it's like we know that both of us are not gonna let the bear resolve, so we just need something to get it off the board.
Yeah. That's so funny because I didn't have them in for you game 2, and then you played it. I was like, that's a good idea. I should do that. And then I put them.
Incredible idea.
Yeah.
And then speaking of other incredible ideas, we put in 2 of the other Stampsies. The shout outs PK, go Cryoscorch, shout out PK.
Go Cryoscorch.
Oh, Cryoscorch.
Dang it.
Go Cryoscorch for the 2 galaxies. Yeah. I don't think I ever cited this card in.
Yeah, no, there was no reason for these to be in there.
The idea was that we would put it in versus like Cryo Rhino and Cryo 5s, and I just didn't play any of them.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
I friendly fired the whole day. Like, I played our entire
True.
Group.
True.
It was ridiculous. I think I friendly fired, what was it, like out of the first 5 rounds I played 4 people from our testing group. It was
It's crazy.
I guess I said it a little too early, but we played one Go Cryoscorch. This is the card that is, I'm sure everybody remembers from the finals. I'll start the story. So Trevor was supposed to be here because we gave credit to this for Trevor, but this was kind of my idea. So me and Trevor last week before this premiere, we're watching the finals, and I just kept seeing these double frost enchanted Cryoverns on the board. And I was like, man, if he had a Cryoscorch in his deck, this game would end right now. The game would be over. Why do we keep giving them a chance to do this? And I was saying it as a joke, right? Because I didn't think this card was good. And so me and Trevor were talking about it. Because at that point, me and Trevor were saying, like, maybe we'll play Cryo 5s. You know, we weren't thinking about this bear deck. And it was like, ooh, we could play Cryo 5s with Cryoscorch so that we can burn people to death. And, you know, Trevor was like, ooh, any excuse to play my stellar Cryoscorch? I was like, hell yeah.
True.
And I forgot about it. And then Trevor brought it back up when we were putting this deck together. He's like, yo, are we playing that Cryoscorch? I was like, I don't know. Let me ask Josh. And then I DM'd you and I was like, yo, should we play Cryoscorch? I expected you to say no, like that, like I'm stupid, that this is the worst idea you've ever heard. And then you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I was like, truth, Duke. And then we put it in our deck. And what was the final tally on number of people defeated with this card?
14 or 15?
14.
Yeah.
14 was the finals.
14.
14 victims to Cryoscorch effect between the four of us, which is absurd.
So good. So like a big thing too is that this card is like, it's a big body, which is great, hard ascending, etc. Sometimes you just have the random material on the board to do it. The other portion of it is that we saw a lot of, again, like OG Whale and Champ Whale being played, and so double Frost Kryovern was so much more resilient to that. And the fact you don't have to water enchant. So the times that we didn't water enchant Kryovern, you just easy layup setup for the Cryoscorch, which is crazy because again in finals, I think I saw a moment where I was like, Josh, what are you doing? You're going for double. Oh god, it's like the sequence of events of like double frost enchanting the Kryovern and just the opponent not having anything, and I'm like, it's over. It's so over.
The prophecy came true. It was finals last week where I said if he had a Cryoscorch in his deck, the finals are over right now. And then Josh gets a double Frost Kryovern on the field, and it's like, oh, the finals are over right now. There
were a couple matches in Swiss too that if I didn't play this, I would have taken a couple more losses. Like I don't 100%. Actually know if I don't play Cryoscorch.
Oh, same here. There were definitely times where like my opponent had like a Majesty out against me that had like 11 attack, and I just could not deal with it. And I was like, wait, how many spirits are you on? Like 3? Ascend for Cryoscorch effect? Does this resolve? And they're like, yeah, you got it. I was like, oh my god, I was ready to scoop. I was so
same thing with Pantera. Like they had a Pantera on the field. I couldn't out Cryoscorch burn for game.
That was so cool.
It's like, oh my god.
And it's crazy how much synergy this card had with the deck too, because you like Swole was talking about this earlier, but you apply so much pressure with the bear that it doesn't even matter if they shield your bear, PTA the bear, because you're doing so many spirits that like when the opponent doesn't know there's a Cryoscorch in your deck, they're fine like burning like themselves for 1 billion because it's like, okay, I removed the threat, and then the threat comes out and it's like, okay, the game ends now.
Main deckable, questionable. I think that's kind of the weird part, is that like not in every matchup do I feel like it's necessary, but it's really cool regardless. Like I think that's the neat part. Yeah. And like I said, Lavalith's like the flex spot for this one too. I also cited out Lavalith like quite a bit for this, and it's like it works perfectly. Drawing it's awkward, but oh well.
But it's also perfect with the spirit math,
because
you need exactly 4 to do the Den combo to get Majursa plus Den, and then you have just 1 fire spirit left over, and it's like, what do I do with it? Oh, it's like I burned them to death.
Yep,
that's what I do.
It's also crazy how many times that you can resolve Den combo and Cryoscorch in the same game.
Oh, like every time I resolve this, I had also Den comboed my opponent every single time.
I don't know if you went over the changes for the side deck, but
well, let's talk about the next card, because I think it's what you're going to talk about. Is this the card that you want to talk about?
Yeah, a little bit. So okay, I played a little bit of a different side deck than everyone else, by quite a wide margin, and one of those changes was to Helios's, as our casters call it, Chariot Ride. And
the Chariot Ride.
Chariot Ride.
And it's for me, previously playing this inside of the Bear Bomb, and then now playing it this weekend, it didn't have the same effect I think that it did for y'all. I don't know if I was just using it wrong. However, it only ever came up for me very rarely, and it didn't really matter as far as like activating it and being able to clear my opponent's board, because it just never came up in that way for me, where I could set up like a play for it. So I was only playing this card at 2 for myself.
Josh, do you want to speak on this? Because I have a lot of words to say about this card.
I actually don't have a whole lot to say, other than every single time I resolved that card, I won the game.
Yeah, I mean, this card was so disgusting for me. So there are 2 reasons why this card was broken. So normally I hate this card. I think this card's really troll a lot of the time.
Yep. I think it's only good in this deck specifically.
I agree. Because on Clash, before, like, this was kind of my Clash deck. Before we had Kryovern, I was like, well, what can I put in those slots? It's like, oh, I'll play Brummelinks and like Blizzard, so I can like Blizzard and like get my Ursicle to resolve and then like blow up the board, right? But the thing that I noticed was coming up more was I would just have the combo on like turn 1, and it's like, well, I want to do the combo, but I have to sit here and wait for my opponent to like beat me in the face. Like, I'm winning too hard. I don't have the spirits in my underworld. So the fact that I could just flip this to put 2 frost in my underworld and say that my play is guaranteed to go through was insane, because a lot of times I would just open like Chariot Ride Bear plus High Bear. I'm like, oh, I win the game. I'm just gonna like set this and like pass and just flip Chariot Ride, cast Ursicle, game's over. Like, this was so crazy because it just made sure that I had the spirits I needed to do the play while also protecting it. But the real thing that was messed up about this, and I only got to do this once because I kept drawing my Cryoscorch. Like, every time I burn somebody with this, it's because I hard drew it. But the thing that's really messed up is you can go like start of draw phase Chariot Ride with a Kryovern on the field, and even if they don't know that you have the Cryoscorch, they kind of have to Gorgons your Kryovern, because if you don't, at resolution, you can now go, okay, well, now you can't use counter runes for the rest of the turn. I'm going to go Kryovern, pitch my whole hand, go into Cryoscorch, nuke all the back row, burn you for 5, and like dome you. So it's like, if I draw this card and I have a Kryovern or Cryoling in my hand and we're at like 7, like if you're on like 7 spirits or less, the game ends like immediately, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that was so gross. Like, the fact that you can protect what is basically the riskiest play in the entire game is crazy.
I think it's also worth mentioning too that like Helios in this deck is just Hurricane. Every single person is siding 3 Pandoras specifically to beat the Den combo. Every game 2 and 3, you put in the Chariot Ride to beat both Gorgons and Pandoras, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Blow up all the runes, blow up all their guys, swing for at least 4 GGs, extend handshake. There is no counterplay to Chariot Ride at all.
Because the thing that was really keeping this deck in check was that everybody just started siding P-Box, because it's like, oh, well, if I play against the Bear deck, I have P-Box, and like, yeah, they might invest all their spirits into the Den combo, but then they just get P-Boxed and they lose. That doesn't really hold up when they can just Chariot Ride you out of the game, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And this being cheaper than Earthquake, easier to set up, it puts the right spirits in the underworld for it to...
It's cheaper than Hurricane.
Yep, like, it's just crazy. This card, genuinely, like, we might have finally hit the point where this card might be a problem.
The one thing I'll say about P-Box too, because like this card, I think good, don't get me wrong, probably necessity against certain matchups, etc. It was nice in our deck specifically. Rather, I guess not in our deck, in my opponent's decks, because what they would do is they would side into Pandora's box thinking they were going to hit the Bear combo or hit a Kryovern, etc. And the real carry was that because we were playing just so much 5s and removal, that it's not a real counter into that. So you could just like, again, walk over these things. They have like 2 cards set and they're double Pandoras, and you're like, I'm just gonna keep on swinging, and they're like, yeah, that's good. Okay, well, I'm not gonna, like, that's partially like why Bear combo sometimes never came up, because either got Pandora's boxed or my opponent would just lose because they sided into this card and they didn't have actual counter runes to deal with the guy, so they got put in the blender, right? And that's like sick.
Yep. Yeah, no, 100%.
It's also really nice too, because like you can easily sniff out if that's a Pandora's if they haven't activated it for a couple turns.
Oh yeah, that or a Spoiled Fruit, which I think Spoiled Fruit is a good in theory card to like the hibernation stuff, but it's the same thing. as to me in the Pandora's box, where it's like it's just not effective into every other card except for specifically the Den combo, which is targeted, but I mean, who cares? Like, you're just gonna swing with Kryovern over and over again.
Well, and that's the big thing, is that with the other list, like, and people had adapted to it pretty well, is that list only did the bear combo. Like, if that deck didn't bear combo you, it didn't do anything. I'm putting all my eggs in the bear basket, and if the bear basket doesn't resolve, I lose.
Yep.
Which is what happened, I think, to Justin last time in top 8, is that his opponent just had the P-box for him, and he just exploded. What's the best way to counter that is like, well, just don't put all our eggs in the basket. Let's still just play a good deck, and we just have this as a win condition.
Yeah, you can have a good pick and nick basket in this bear deck, I promise you. It's sick.
Hey, boo-boo! You got any of them Pandora's boxes back there? All right, and then for the last cards, these cards all were kind of whatever. It was Cryoblast and Laurels. I don't think I sided this card in ever. I might, maybe against JJ. I don't remember.
I think I sided it in finals.
You did,
in game 2, and it just didn't do enough.
Okay. I don't like Cryoblast versus Fire. Like, I've been saying this for a while, but I don't think this card is like remotely good against Fire.
It's like fine, I think.
It's fine.
Yeah. This is, I think, the biggest deviation from our side decking goes. So like, I was only on two Chariot, 2 Pandora's box, and I was not playing either Cryoblast. Instead, I targeted more for the Hydrake and the Pantera matchup. I played 3 Specteris, 2 Owloon, and then double Eruption, which
okay, yeah,
that was like the big changes. Everything else is pretty much the same. So no Thunder Spirit as well. So like just small changes. But the thing for me was that I was like, people are going to be playing Pantera. If I'm getting matched up, I'm going to need something for that. OG Whale was everywhere. People are on that. I'm going to need something for it. And Cryoblast is like fine against Pantera too. But it was just like you said, I don't think it's amazing versus the Fire deck, because it's, by the time that they're actually able to use it, they've probably already accrued so much advantage. And then, I don't know, Laurels was crazy all day for me. I think Laurels is actually goated. But outside of that, yeah, Cryoblast, not that great.
The differences that Trevor had was he was on the 6-4 for Fire, and then one of his P boxes was a Tsunami, I think, was the only difference.
Yeah.
Because I think you and I changed to 3rd P box like late in the middle of the night, because it's like, this deck seems crazy. Like, the only people we have to worry about is each other. Like, let's just put in a 3rd P box in case we.
And that was true.
It was with the, like, I'm pretty sure Swole is the only person that lost to somebody that was not playing this deck.
Yeah, specifically top 8. That's it.
What were your losses? What was your loss in Swiss? Was it Trevor
Just you
or Josh? Oh, it was me. I forgot that you played.
Bear, baby.
I forgot that I played you.
What was my only loss in Swiss?
Yep.
Cryoscorch for
It's
game,
crazy
baby.
that we all had different losses, because I lost to
Yeah, I got
Trevor, Swole
Cryoscorch.
lost to me, and you lost to Swole.
Yep.
All 3 of us
Just,
lost to a different bear player, like, from the group, but it was all from our group.
Bear best deck, baby. It's funny because, like, again, this is us revealing this strategy in a weird way is going to plague the next couple of we only have one. We have only one before live stream. So
only one more.
God.
Not looking forward to that one.
Oh God, it's been great. Blizzstrix all day. We're playing Blizzstrix. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Oh, we can't even play that anymore with Morlith the one. Oh no.
Hold on. Is hold. Is Ursicle on cast?
No, normal
Yeah.
cast.
No, it's on normal.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that we could.
Thank
triple Ursicle.
God.
Right.
No. Oh, thank
No,
God.
it's wild.
Imagine I will into double Ursicle, search Den High Bear.
No, for the longest time, I was so upset that you couldn't go like Ursier, cast Ursicle, and like get a search. I thought that was like the dumbest thing.
Can you?
I am so thankful
imagine?
it is on normal cast now.
It'd be so
Because if I could go in Frostix, bring back Ursicle, what a day.
No, even like Urscout into like Urscout destroy, bring back Ursicle search whatever piece you're missing.
Yep.
And now High Bear in there. Incredible.
Broken. Thank you for normal cast. Thank you.
Thank you, game designers, for doing a good job.
Incredible. Now this deck was sick all day. It is probably close, if not the final variation of this deck that we'll see. Not just because live stream is coming out, but just because like I don't know how much more you can really reiterate upon this deck to make it like quote unquote better. There's different things you can be doing. You know, I've seen Nyx and Mara Frost. I've seen like just like again more Frost 5s. Obviously, the Den Turbo version, more bears, but I think in their current card pool, the 5s version, Kryovern style, Mama Bear Bomb Turbo is about right. It's, Goldilocks zone, if you want to bring it there.
Yep.
I think the Bear Bomb style is low enough investment. You're playing like an extra copies of Ambrosias, you're playing, Yu-Gi-Oh! Eyes, you're playing Engage, and so it's just good stuff. The only
high bear, the high bear.
It's good. And
I did that so much. Like the high bear, triple high bear, double Ambro game. I think I did that to Dimax, like round 1. I was like, I'm so sorry.
It feels
Bro
incredible.
healed 12 spirits against me, and I was like, yeah, that's all fine. I'm high bear, Ambro.
I'll match your energy.
Except I match it way faster. Poor Dimax, man. Dimax should have brought this deck.
Solar, strongest soldier.
It's crazy how the roles have shifted.
I'm just happy that we took, I mean, not to say we're manipulating the meta at all, but, when 4 of the best players inside of the game all convert on one of the best decks in the game, 50% top cut conversion, so 50% of the top cut is bears. Kind of neat.
What do you mean 50%? It was 100% from our group.
Oh, true.
Top cut was us.
This is also the caveat. So this is one thing I will say. The deck that probably would have cleared the most outside of Fire Artifact would probably have been Pantera or something. If we didn't decide to be psychopaths and be like, let's just rock up with bears. It probably would have been Hydrake or the Cryoscorch stuff. We probably seen a lot more of that. We saw Julian and Ari both on it, which I think is like good and fine. There probably would have been more if Josh didn't gatekeep 5 other poor Pantera players outside of Top Cut.
I am so sorry, Pantera players. Like, this was Dallas with Blistrix, except it was Pantera.
Actually, yeah.
Like, I played against 4 or 5 Pantera players.
Or like how when I played at Atlanta, I played against like 7 fire players or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7.
Do we think this is the best deck?
I think, yeah. I don't see what could ever be better than this deck. Like, this was the best I've ever felt like playing a deck. Like, every game felt so one-sided, and I've never felt that in Elestrals before.
There's the best deck, baby.
I've been saying it.
Sure, just
what can I say?
Correct, just late.
I've never been wrong.
Correct, just late. What do you mean? He's never wrong. He's just early.
I'm just early.
True. Not only is this probably the best deck, it's weird because I will say, while the other decks are pretty strong, Fire Artifact, we've seen a lot of showings, a lot of Pantera, a lot of wind stuff, even just general tempo pile is still pretty good. The fact that this deck just can turn on a board clear for almost no more spirit investment than a normal Frost list is the difference maker. Like, yes, we're playing generic stuff. Yes, we're playing some of the better searchers. Yes, we're playing yada yada. But the key difference between the Pantera stuff and this is, like, holy shit, we can drop a literal mother bomb. Like, that's the difference. Yeah, thanks for Cabal for having me on.
Shout outs to the Cabal.
The Cabal, you can't reach the Cabal. They'll reach you. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the crazy.
It's like the Dark Brotherhood. They just show up in the middle of the night. They snatch you away. And
it's even worse than that. It's
pulling the strings of the Elestrals meta.
You could be practicing with 5s for like a week straight, pop into a VC, and then all of a sudden 3 ba-doom, 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 and it's like, hey, do you want to play bears? And it's just this shadowy voice, and you're like, Justin?
Is that exactly what happened?
Yeah, that is exactly what happened, actually.
I'm gonna end the recording now.
Bears best deck.
Bears best deck.
Best of luck.
Always has been.